Just when we thought it was over, there's a new variant on the rise. BA5 is easier to catch, better at evading immunity, and set to take over from BA2 as the biggest, baddest variant. This week, the Ministry of Health's 7-day rolling average rose for the first time since March. And amid talk of a second wave, one expert reckons we could revisit our old mate, the red traffic light.
I think it's definitely something that will be considered. We know that the hospitals are very full of people with all sorts of respiratory illnesses at the moment. And so adding on a whole lot of extra COVID cases who need hospitalisation will really add a lot to that burden.
In a poll exclusive to the project, we asked people when they thought life would return to normal. 11% feel COVID's done and dusted, but the biggest group, at just over 38%, told us they see no end to the pandemic. But don't cry, it's not as bad as it sounds.
It's very uncommon for diseases to be eradicated, where it completely disappears. There are a lot of vaccines under development which target a different part of the coronavirus, so that's something to look forward to.
But for the moment, one thing is clear. The pandemic is definitely not over yet.
OK, well, let's get epidemiologist Tony Blakely to talk with us more about this. He's normally in Australia, but today is coming to us from Rotorua. And Tony, as we heard in the poll there, most people think COVID is here to stay forever. Do you think that that is accurate?
It's possible. It's rolling on. So remember influenza in 1918? We still get influenza every year. This is a coronavirus. It could keep coming up every year. We don't want it to keep doing this forever. The things that we've got on our side is we've got some nice new vaccines coming through that might make it more and more like a low virulent influenza in the future. But we've got to expect this to keep rolling on for months, if not years yet.
Tony, can I ask you, around 11% of people in the New Zealand poll think COVID's gone away. I'm from the UK, where it feels like 100% of people think it's gone away. If you wear a mask to the theatre in London, you feel like 1995 Michael Jackson. Does it surprise you that anyone thinks it's gone away, Tony?
Well, we all want it to go away. That's part of the cognitive functioning, isn't it? That we really want these things to go away. But it's back. BA4-5, it's about 15-20% more infectious than BA2, the current version of Omicron. So it won't displace Delta as quickly as the first Omicron did, but it will displace. We will see an extra surge. And unfortunately, in the next 4 to 8 weeks, somewhere around that timeline, we're going to see a lot of pressure on the hospitals with influenza as well.
What does that mean? Well,
society would decide we're going to live with it. That means that we've got to live with this damn thing. What I expect will happen is we'll get to a point where masks will have to go back on, and we'll be encouraging those people with 3 doses who haven't yet had 3 doses to get that 3rd dose, and we might even start seeing more 4th doses rolling out to try and control this one through winter.
Everything I've heard is that the vaccine has very little effect against these new variants. What's the point in continuing to boost?
OK, it's a good question. To get the current vaccines, excuse me, it will reduce your chance of getting infected, but it's nowhere near perfect, but it still gives you that extra boost against hospitalisation and death, so it helps protect the hospitals. Moderna have got a new vaccine coming out which covers the original Wuhan one plus developed for BA1 and looks like it's quite good for BA4 and 5. I'm expecting that to hit Australia and New Zealand in the next 6 to 8 weeks. We'll start seeing that roll out.
Wow, that's interesting. And how about for those of us who've already caught it? I read today that someone was saying it could be just 3 weeks before you get it again. Is that true?
Oh, look, we're not sure because at 3 weeks it could still be the other infection, the previous infection resurging or viral fragments from that. But we certainly know if you've had it, you can still get it again. And the modelling that I lead, we assume that the waning from your infection is about half as fast as a waning from vaccination. So you can still get it, but if you've been infected and you've had a vaccination, you'd be unlucky to be getting it this winter, but it can still happen. So, message being, everybody keep their vaccination up as much as possible, and we walk our way through this.
Well, I'm feeling lucky and I'm feeling vaxxed, Tony, but you're just back from Australia. Are there any differences in the behaviour of Australians and New Zealanders dealing with COVID that you've noticed?
Less than I thought, actually. There is more mask wearing here. I'm seeing that more when you go into the supermarket, for example. Everybody's masked up. Back home, they're not. I haven't been on a public transport here yet, but I know that in Melbourne, most people are not bothering to, although they should be doing. So a little bit higher guarding here on the mask wearing front. Other than that, fairly similar attitude from what I can make out.
Well, Tony Blakely, it's been great to have you on the show and back in the country. Thanks for talking to us.
Welcome along to the project. Let me introduce you to this woman with a fantastic accent. She's very funny. She is the host of the Guilty Feminist podcast, Deborah Francis. Nice to have you in New Zealand. And obviously COVID is not unique to New Zealand, but interested to get your perspective.
Yeah, you know, I love being in New Zealand, and I don't think New Zealanders realise what an iconic country you have become. All around the world, when I tour, people say, oh, I wish our country was run by Jacinda Ardern. Oh, I really wish we were like New Zealand. New Zealand's so good on feminist issues. It's so good on inequality. And I know that New Zealanders at home will be going, oh, we've got our problems too, and Indigenous New Zealanders will be shouting at the television. But it's all relative, and relatively, gang, you're doing really, really well.
Oh, that's nice to hear, isn't it?
Thank you.
Thank you. We can wrap the show.